Hey everyone, welcome back. I have about an hour to leave, so we're gonna get ready together while I give y'all some brutally honest, unsolicited advice that we probably all need. I have no idea what direction I'm gonna go in for my makeup and hair, and we're just gonna go with the flow. So the first piece of advice I have, actually, disclaimer, I'm still young, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and still have a lot of lessons to learn. So take everything I say with a grain of salt and use your own discernment. My advice obviously is not going to be for everyone. Realize that you can do anything that you want. You must get anything that you want out of life. And I feel like people say that all the time, but they don't really tell you how that's possible, especially when you're someone that has all the odds against you. My first piece of advice is all about comparison. And comparison is literally one of the worst things you can do to yourself. Whether it's comparing your personality, your looks, your life, anything. You are not meant to be living anybody else's life. I don't know what brush I'm about to use for this. You are not meant to be anyone else but you. And the only person that you should be competing with is yourself. I don't even think competing is the right word, but the most beautiful thing is seeing people just own who they are and not try to be somebody else and just show up as themselves. Those type of people are the people who inspire me and just bring me joy personally. If you were to look at me months ago or a year ago or any time before recently, you would see that I wasn't someone who was authentic. Even with my close relationships, I had a huge fear of being seen, and I felt sometimes I had to play a certain role to be able to fit into certain people's lives. For one, it's draining, and two, it's not fair to the people that are around you because people want to know you for you. People want to get to know you. And think of it as doing both yourself and other people a favor. Because I promise you, if you are genuinely being yourself, the right people will gravitate towards you, for one, and you'll be a lot more confident because you're not trying to play a certain part or be someone else. And I intentionally left up my first video that I made on here, my intro video, because first of all, I just think it's funny, but also that's not how I talk. It's not my personality. No, so sorry. I intentionally left it up so people can see my growth over the years. Obviously, I thought I'd post more than leaving a gap for 2 years, but it's okay. Anyway, that brings me into my next piece of advice, which is the importance of your self-concept. Meaning how you see yourself, who you think you are, what you think you're capable of is so incredibly important, because how you see yourself is how you're gonna be, for one, and that's how other people are gonna see you. Let's just give an example. Let's say you're someone who sees yourself as someone who's very unlikable, annoying, awkward, can't do anything right, dumb. Let's just say you think you're these things. You're gonna subconsciously act in ways that are reinforcing that for you. So the longer that you really believe that and act in ways that reinforce that, the stronger that belief is gonna get and the more detrimental it is gonna be to you. Because trust and believe, I've had so many negative beliefs about myself, and I still have a handful. You really just have to check yourself and check the things that you think about yourself. And not even just yourself though, also about life, about the world, about the people around you, because all of that is going to shape the quality of your life and just what you can, the potential that you can get to in terms of the amount of fulfillment you feel, the amount of confidence you feel, the amount of success that you achieve. All of those things are affected by it. If you think that you're dumb, if you think that you're ugly, if you think that you're unworthy, then you're just being delusional. So sorry to break that to you, but no one is any of those things. Yes, once you actually start to see who you actually are and owning it, that's when your life really changes, and anyone is capable of doing that. I can even sit here and say that and be in the midst of following that advice. Best believe anyone can. I absolutely like despised myself. Like despise is an understatement. I thought so lowly of myself to the point where these guinea pigs, to the point where I was single-handedly messing up my own life and holding myself back. And at a certain point, you just get tired. Something like kind of like gives you a wake-up call, and you're just like, nah, something's not right, something's gotta change. Take a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down like 25 things that you bring to the table, or like bring to the world. 25 things you like about yourself, just to get yourself like thinking about it. I think it's a really powerful first step to take in terms of redefining how you see yourself. Because as humans, obviously, like we tend to focus on the negative in everything, whether it's just like our life circumstances or who we are. My next piece of advice, a little more brutal, but definitely something that I feel like a lot of people need to hear, and something that I needed to hear too many times, is that you have to get yourself out of the victim mentality. It is holding you back so much, and you don't even realize it. And I feel like, what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna do my hair next, because it's not looking correct. The scariest part about it is like most people don't realize that they are in a victim mentality, because, and it can be for different reasons, whether it's just like something that was learned, or something that you've been used to for so long that you don't even realize, or there's so many different aspects that it could be. Let me tell you this, if you find yourself constantly thinking like, why me, like life's not fair, like I can't do this, or I can't accomplish this because of XYZ, or if you look at someone else's life and you're like, wow, like I actually really like their lifestyle, like their life, but then you think to yourself like, oh well, they only can have that lifestyle because they have this much money, or they look this way, or they da-da-da-da. By doing that, you're also like telling yourself that you lack something when you lack nothing. No matter what your identity is, no matter what you've been through, no matter what people have said to you or told you about yourself, or no matter where you're at in life, what your past looks like, the only person who can give yourself better is yourself. You can't wait for a situation or a person to swoop in and save the day. You gotta save the day yourself. You just gotta get to a point where you're so tired of whatever it is, being complacent, tired of being tired, tired of feeling down, feeling not good enough, feeling whatever. You gotta be tired of something. And I just feel like, oh, that leads me to my next piece of advice. You gotta sit and think about, what is your why? Like, why do you, I feel like I'm like rushing this, but it's okay. Why do you get up every day and do what you do? Why haven't you given up yet? What matters to you? What keeps you here? What are you passionate about? And honestly, I feel like when you do figure that out, or if you already know it, write it down. Write it down, pin it on in your notes, put it on a piece of paper and stick it on your wall, because that's gonna be what you look at when you feel like giving up. It's really easy to get discouraged and wanna go back and revert to old patterns or old ways of thinking and living when you don't see like results of the changes that you're making. But that's the biggest test, is like you have to push past that, because your feelings are gonna change all the time. You might feel like you can conquer the world one day, and the next day you feel like you can't even get out of bed. So like, you cannot rely on feelings at all, but you can rely on action, and you can choose to take action. That is your choice every single day. And when you don't feel like taking action, you can remind yourself of your why. Or if it's just like you need rest, then take rest. Since really all you can rely on is like your actions, that's why discipline is so important. because without discipline, like, it's really, you're not gonna be able to reach any of the goals that you have for yourself. Because motivation is good and great, but you're not always gonna be motivated. And I feel like people talk about this all the time, how important discipline is, but it really is so important. And y'all, the benefits of discipline are endless. Like, let's just give y'all a few. One, discipline brings confidence. When you're consistently taking action and you're like seeing the results of that, it brings confidence. Like, it's just psychology. Like, at the heart of confidence is discipline, action. That's all it is. Because once you show yourself that you can do something, that you're very much capable, obviously you're gonna believe that. Discipline also cultivates self-respect, because when you take your life seriously and yourself seriously, and you stick to the things that you say you're gonna do, and you are consistent, you're showing yourself that you respect yourself. When you respect yourself, others respect you. And also, I feel like self-respect is really important for being able to trust yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, you're not gonna act in ways that are beneficial to you. And then you're not gonna really trust yourself, because you're like, okay, well, when times get tough, you go and do the same things that you did like in the past. And if you do that repeatedly, then you're just like, you just create a relationship with yourself where you can't trust what you tell yourself, you can't trust what you say to others, and you just can't trust who you are. I feel like the first, like, even when I hear discipline, I'm like, ain't nobody trying to be doing the same stuff every day. But like, people who are just like sitting and watching the people around them achieve everything that they want, and they're like, well, like, I can't do that. Versus like, if you were like, okay, I know what I want, I'm not gonna stop until I get what I want, and you're taking action every day to do that, you start to feel really good. And it also just reflects in your energy. Like, people can really see when you are not playing about your life, you're not playing about yourself. We love to see it. So how I was able to bring discipline into my life more was starting extremely small. I'm trying to think of what I started with. I think I just started like adding one habit to my daily routine. I think it was like probably journaling. I think that's something I've been doing every day for a while now. I promise y'all, one of the best feelings in the world is like shocking yourself, proving yourself and others wrong, and just like continuously seeing yourself grow into a person that you could not even fathom. Such a top-tier feeling. I want everyone to feel that feeling, because I know everyone can. The first thing you have to do is just believe that there's more to you. Even if you can't picture what the best version of you would look like if you just take small steps, you'll be able to picture it, and then you can fully just like, sorry, there's something in the air, but you can step into that. I have like 20 minutes left till I have to go, so I think I'm just gonna just keep it straight. I was gonna do some curls, but I think like keeping it straight and bumping the ends is my best bet, because I'll be here all day. My last piece of advice is all about being solution oriented, because I think one thing that keeps a lot of people like stuck in their issues and their problems is forgetting that 9 times out of 10 you can solve the problems that you have, and if you can't solve them, then you either create a plan, or you just accept them, or you find a way to deal with them. So, for example, I like giving examples because I feel like some things don't make sense unless you have an example. Let's say Gabby, I'm gonna just use a random name. Let's say Gabby wants to do public speaking, but she never tries or admits to herself that she wants to do public speaking because she doesn't think she can. So she goes her whole life doing other things that she's not truly passionate about, just because she thinks that's all she can amount to. Where am I going with this? Hold on. Oh yeah, and so she's just like miserable for her whole life. let's rewrite this scenario in the sense that she's solution oriented. So instead of playing small and being miserable because she's not doing what she actually wants to do, she takes public speaking classes, starts forcing herself to go out and talk to people, starts asking for feedback about ways that she can improve in the area, starts networking with people who are also in the area and asking them for advice. And now she is literally the best public speaker you've ever seen in your life. So that's just an example. It literally goes for anything. Like if you find yourself constantly thinking about a problem or things that are external, like things that are going on inside that are holding you back, whether it's like overthinking, worrying, ruminating, all of it, like there's solutions for any problem. I don't know if I want to say any problem. There's solutions for most problems, and if there's not a solution, then you have no choice but to accept what it is for what it is and make the best out of it and find ways to work around it. And I like to remind myself, to kind of like scare myself into like keeping all of these tips in mind, is just like when you really have to consider like dying. Like I don't even mean this in like a sad way, but you have to consider like the fact that you're not always going to be the age that you are. I just think about my life at like 90 years old and how upset I would be if I did not like go after everything I wanted, if I did not try my very best at achieving what I wanted to achieve and getting everything I wanted, how much regret I would feel. And it would have to be an excruciating regret, because imagine being at a point where you can't really go, you can't do anything anymore. You can't, all you have to do is just sit and live with that and think about that for the rest of your life. So it's just like, whatever your fear is that's stopping you, I promise it's not that serious. Like if you really look at things like large scale, it probably does not matter at all. And if it is something that's like huge, or it seems huge, there's a way to get through it, over it, around it, whatever. I also think it's important to just find people who have kind of been through similar things as you, but are where you want to be at as well, because it's easy to ignore advice from somebody who you feel like hasn't had the same struggles as you, or hasn't had much struggle at all, or like, you know, because you feel like their advice is coming from a place of like, well, you don't have to deal with this, so why would I listen to you? Like, we're not this way. So that's why I feel like it's also important to find those people that no choice but to see them, see all they've been through, see their life and where they're at, and be like, I have no excuse. Moral of the story though, just take responsibility for your life, take accountability for your life. If you're not where you want to be at, if you're miserable, if you're unhappy, if you're lonely, like whatever it is, you have to just objectively look at what's going on in your life and just sit down and be like, what do I need to change right now? Like, what do I need to change about myself? What habits do I need to change? Do I need to change who I'm surrounding myself with? Do I need to change some of the activities that I'm partaking in? Do I need to change the music I'm listening to, the stuff that I'm watching, the whatever? Like, you know what you need, honestly. And sometimes you don't, and sometimes it's okay. Sometimes you gotta talk to a friend, or you gotta talk to a professional. Like, there's no shame in it. Do what you gotta do, but do it. You don't wanna sit here and regret your life because you let something that seems so huge but is really insignificant hold you back. I hate seeing wasted potential, like, but yeah, as I get more comfortable in here, I obviously want to share more about like my experiences and stuff like that, because I did say, like, for me personally, I like to take advice from people who have been through similar things as me, or struggle with some of the same like issues that I do, so I can be like more confident in the fact that their advice is something that is something that I should actually listen to and follow. You know, people assume that I always have my SHIT together. Like, the amount of times I've been told, like, you seem like you always have it together, like, you're just so calm, you're so chill, like, the way you carry, like, but that cannot be further from the truth. My video keeps stopping because I don't have any storage, so that's gonna be my cue. I hope that you got at least something from this video and that you enjoyed watching it. Then subscribe, like, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you next week.